because do you track macros?
No.
Neither of us track macros. It's working out pretty well.
Say so. Especially for you.
Ready or not, welcome back to another episode of the CBG Radio Podcast. We are going to unwrap a festive topic today. We're going to take a look at some of maybe influencers that you like, maybe you don't like them, but we're going to, they're in the fitness space and we're going to see and decide if they're on the naughty or the nice list. And we're going to take a look at some of their messaging. We're going to pick it apart. If they deserve getting beat up, then Justin and Gab are going to beat them up. So, but before we get to that, one thing that I wanted to address is on one of our last previous episodes, the Eat to Look Like This. There was a comment that I think that deserves some attention. So it's from Russell Ward, 1202. Russell says, it's ironic that the crew who tells you not to count macros proceeds to compare the caloric count of fat, carbs, proteins. Does it matter or not?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So this actually is a really good point, and I'm glad that Russell brought this up because this is going to bring some clarity to what we actually do here at CBG, and people get really confused. So for us, just because we don't track macros, which is the actual system used to understand your calories, doesn't mean we don't care about your total intake in calories. We do. Obviously, we know we need to monitor calories in some way, shape, or form to be able to understand our total intake for weight loss or for performance, et cetera, right? Two things that I think we do well, but that are also going to answer his question is we understand through the calories and macros, breaking down into a simple blueprint that allows people to understand their intake through portion sizes rather than playing Tetris in MyFitnessPal to figure out everything. These blueprints are outlined based on your life so you can build habits when you're eating throughout the day and actually fits in to allow you to form habits through the nutrition side of the things that you do, right? So it's not that we don't care necessarily about the calories. We want to understand what that looks like so that we can break down more simply into a blueprint that fits into your actual lifestyle, right? And so out of that question, which is a good one, I think that's what we want to do. And so that's why we talk about the calories, even though we're not randomly playing Tetris in MyFitnessPal talking about tracking everything that we eat, right?
There you go.
I often tell my clients that, I don't need you to be actively tracking your calories or your macros throughout the day. I'm going to give you a program that will sort of take care of that for you. But I also don't treat my clients like little kids. Like they're welcome to know what those macros are. They're broken down by meal so they can have an understanding of what it is they're looking for. This is not like a, bury your head in the sand and don't ever think about it situation. It's just let's do this in a way that is sustainable so that you're not bringing your food scale to a restaurant or, breaking out the measuring cups at your cousin's wedding. Like, let's make sure that you can actually do this in your day to day, but that doesn't mean that you can never know your macros or you can't know what you need to eat at every meal. We just don't have to live and die by that.
Yep. Yeah, just that's exactly right, Gab. And obviously Gab has a number of clients he's working with this on currently. And so that's our focus, right? Is now that we're not focused specifically on tracking every single gram of food in an app, we're more in tune with what our body is telling us, recognizing if we need more, if we need less, give better feedback to our coach, build a better relationship, and hey, maybe even do some higher level nutritional based protocols and dietary interventions that otherwise you wouldn't have the bandwidth to do because you're so focused on just hitting the perfect gram in an app, right? So yeah, great question, Russell. I think it gave us the opportunity to kind of clarify that it's not just like intuitive eating, like get in a quiet room and take a breath before. No, that's not what we do.
Yeah. And one other thing I want to point out too is that the reason that I love our system so much is because even though we are giving people the freedom of not being married to MyFitnessPal and, whatever, we are still preventing that if it fits your macros pitfall that a lot of people who track their macros fall into, where they're eating crazy shit for breakfast and then they have no room left at dinner. Like we're not allowing people to just eat whatever the hell they want. And like, as long as it fits in this little puzzle well, then you're good to go. Like, we're really focusing on quality of calories. We're focusing on good habits. We're focusing on making the best choices to be healthy and, fuel your body for performance and stuff like that. So there isn't this like, all right, here are your numbers. Like, call me if you need anything.
There you go. Yeah. So it sounds like it's not, obviously macros are important, but for the clients of CBG, they quit tracking the macros and you guys kind of help do it for them and give them a way that's sustainable to be able to eat the way that they're supposed to eat. So there you go, Russell. Hopefully that answered your question. And I guess since it was a good question, you can be on the nice list today. So nice list for Russell. All right, let's move on to our first influencer. Let me click through here and see which one we want to do. Let's do this one. All right. Make sure the sound's on before we play because I don't know how to rewind. All right, here we go.
Top 3 fat loss plateau busting tips. Number 1, maybe you aren't at a plateau. Maybe you don't need to change anything. Maybe you just had a weight fluctuation and didn't drop. Maybe you just need to be patient and let it marinate a little bit and then you'll drop. Sometimes the best adjustment is no adjustment. Number 2, a diet break. Maybe this person has been having some real crappy training sessions and they're not putting as much energy into their training and they're feeling more lethargic and they're feeling less positive. Maybe instead of reducing their calories and increasing their cardio, maybe they just need a diet break so they can feel better, train harder, be more positive, and many times you'll actually see a client get a drop after that. Number 3, make a smaller adjustment than you think. Just because somebody's plateaued doesn't mean they need to drop 500 calories off their diet immediately. Try adjusting down by 5-10% of their calories from carbohydrates and fats and adding just a little bit more activity, and usually you'll get a nice drop after that and progress will continue.
All right. So this is let's see, BioLane. So Lane Norton. What do you guys think? Is he on the naughty or nice list?
Gab's putting him on the naughty so she can give him a spanking.
I love him.
I wouldn't give him a present. He's a competitor of CBG, but obviously a very intelligent, smart guy. Inspired me when I was, because he's older than us, to get into nutrition. And I would say, of course, as nutritionists, nutrition coaches, none of us agree on every single thing. And I would say I agree with a lot of what Lane Norton says. The only thing I disagree with is his he has a PhD in biochemistry, right? So he's very numbers, detail oriented. And so therefore his Carbon Diet Coach app, his program, his coaches, what they do is very tracking macro centric. And I think that is it's not sustainable. So he preaches sustainability, but then he has this like, hey, everybody track macros sort of thing. I think he acknowledges everyone can track macros, but it is the ethos and biggest component of his business. So I'm going to put Lane on the nice list, but I'm not giving him anything for Christmas. Let's put it that way. Just because he's better than me and I can hate on him for that alone. Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just want to add to that if you are somebody who is in the process of trying to go through body recomposition and you feel frustrated, I think these are really important things to remember. So obviously I'd like to put him on the nice list, but I do want to reiterate, like, if you're listening to this podcast and you are somebody who is getting impatient, if you are somebody who feels like they've hit a plateau, like, please remember those things because they're so true. The scale doesn't always tell the whole picture and there are reasons for weight fluctuations. It is imperative that you are patient and it's imperative that you don't make really crazy knee-jerk reactions because you had one bad weigh-in. You got to think about the long game. And so I really appreciate him for those messages, and he's the best.
And he gets present. He's getting present. Yeah.
All right, calm down there, Gab. Don't get Corey upset. Does he know about how smitten you are over Lane Norton?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I just want to say for the record, Corey is much more handsome than Lane Norton, but Lane Norton is up there.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Corey. I don't think Corey's got anything to worry about.
No.
All right, the next one. We've got now this was one Gab I've never heard of this guy. This was your guy, Gab, the link that you sent me. All right, so Dr. Spencer Nadolsky, he says what people think will make them healthier: switching to tallow from seed oils, removing food dyes, cold plunges, what actually will make them healthier, eating more satiating foods with fewer calories, swapping regular soda for water or diet soda, and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy says some very truthful, what should not be controversial stuff, but is controversial stuff on Threads mostly. I see him on Threads a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's he's been around a while. Nadolsky, he's on the nice list for me. Good influencer. Take what he says and try to implement it if you feel he's specifically speaking to you and the goals that you have. And that's it. Nice list for sure.
Yeah. I think what I really like about this guy is that he is not missing the forest for the trees, right? He is somebody who is really having people look at the big picture. Like, if you are somebody who is drinking a liter of Coke every Saturday, you don't need to freak out about the seed oils that are in your protein bar. Like, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
I feel this way about people that are so worried about, like, is there too much sugar in this apple? Is that the reason I'm unhappy with my body? But they're binge drinking margaritas all weekend. It's like, you're focused on the wrong stuff. So he says things like, we got to stop being afraid of diet soda. If you're somebody who drinks regular soda, switch to diet. Don't worry, like, your health will improve tremendously, even if there's rhetoric out there saying that it's unhealthy for you. The seed oil thing, people do not understand. They take it way out of context and make it a much bigger deal than it is. And oftentimes the people that do that have regular habits that are far worse than these things. So he really kind of makes things very simple. He really sees the big picture and tries to help people do that. So I love him. Nice list.
Can we, since we're on the topic of seed oils, do we have RFK on this list anywhere? Can we just
I didn't put him on
throw
there.
his ass on a naughty list real
Can
quick?
we?
Yeah.
He's in the pocket of big iron lung. So
Yeah, he's a Dilbert. He's on the naughty list. Jesus, man.
All right, honorable mention there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the big thing here is focus on whole, nutritious, filling foods, sleep, exercise. Right. I think that's even the RFK juniors and like everybody can agree with that. Simple.
Yeah, Junior. I put RFK on the nice list. RFK Junior.
Okay. But everyone can agree with that simple like breakdown, right? Like you're going to move towards a healthier lifestyle if you focus on whole, nutritious, filling foods, sleep, and exercise. The other semantics, I don't know that there's things to say about that, I guess, but it's just keep it simple.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next one. All right. I think this one might be a naughty one. Let's see. All right. So this is Sporty Beth. She's made some waves in the CrossFit space. I think a lot because of controversy with other people in the CrossFit space, such as the Savon podcast and Andrew Hiller. Her and Hiller have traded barbs before, and he's done like whole videos on her. But she says this is what a fit and healthy postpartum body looks like. She says, for years, I believed I had to hate my body and change it. But what if you didn't have to love or hate your body? What if you could just live in it? My Break Free from Body Hate workshop will help you shift to body neutrality so you can stop wasting energy on self-criticism and start focusing on what truly matters in your life. So, Gab, as a lady, my question is, how do things get conflated from body hate, right? Because that's something that you talk about. You probably deal with a lot of clients. All right, let's stop watching her.
that one clip over and over.
And shift to body neutrality. What do you think she even means by that?
So there is this idea, there are so many different avenues that we talk about now, right? Body positivity, body neutrality, body acceptance. Like, okay, I think if I'm being honest, it feels to me as if there's been this conversation around, I want to love my body, I want to be proud of my body, but that's really hard. So I'm going to try to just accept my body the way that it is. But that is also really hard. So maybe I'm just instead going to try to be totally neutral and stop thinking about it. And while I can understand that there are, I mean, I've very publicly suffered with an eating disorder in the past. Like, I fully and completely understand how much that can consume you. But I think there are so many healthier ways to learn to love and appreciate your body and also improve it, whether that is with, health markers, whether that is with the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you perform. There doesn't need to be this either I am perfect or I'm garbage and I just have to accept that. I think that taking steps to improve the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you perform, whatever is important to you, is so much more than the outcome, right? It's a lifestyle change. It will improve your self-efficacy. It will improve your self-esteem. It's not about the destination of, okay, I'm finally happy with my body. It's about what you learn and what you build along the way. And so this idea of, well, I can't love my body, so I'm just going to learn how to accept it and kind of bury my head in the sand and not worry about it, I think is doing a major disservice to the mental health and the self-esteem of so many people.
Yeah. All right, I got another one here. And Justin, if you got something.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the mechanism to body acceptance could be through neutrality first, possibly. But I think this is a dangerous message in general if we're going down this body positivity acceptance and then this whole marketing slew that has started over the past couple years that is really taking body positivity to fat acceptance. And I think what I would want to know from Sporty Beth, is this a way for people to be okay with fat acceptance, or is this truly a mechanism for them to go from body neutrality to body acceptance overall? Why they continue to still work hard trying to improve their overall health, fitness, and all those other things, right? And I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, like in the middle of the night, I probably dream this shit because this is what I do. That's what I do all day, right? I think if you're managing your weekends pretty well, if you're hitting your protein goal daily and you're doing 4 to 5 watts per week, and you're doing that consistently for a few years, consistently, right? I don't mean like 6 months, like actually consistently. And your body composition is what it is. I think that's a pretty decent body composition that you need to learn how to start accepting. Because anything outside of that, like if you go on a cut or a lean phase or like any of these things, even through our coaching methodology, most people that come into our program or most programs are not doing those basic things I just mentioned, right? However, some of those, anything outside of that, like adding in another 2 to 3 workouts per week on top of the 4 to 5 watts, adding in extra running, hitting your carb, protein, and your fat loss goal, not drinking a sip of alcohol, like really being diligent and very specific and very disciplined. I don't think most people are willing to do a lot of those things. I'm not willing to do those things, to be quite honest, just to be straight up with everybody here. But I'm willing to do some of the more basic things and then get to a better place of accepting my body with what that is. Now, if I'm not hitting my protein goal, if I'm drinking alcohol on the weekends, if I'm hitting 2 to 3 watts per week, right? I don't have enough confidence in my overall lack of ability to do those things to feel accepting of my body because I'm not doing what I know I probably should be doing. So confidence comes a lot of times through the work that we put in. Sporty Beth clearly works in the gym, right? Like she's strong. She's done muscle ups before at this weight, right? Like stuff like that. So it's a lot easier for her, I think, to be body accepting at this in the place that she's in than other people. I don't know if she's doing those other things that I mentioned, right? In terms of nutrition. If I had to guess, maybe not. She could probably maybe improve better, but I also don't know. I haven't worked with her. So I would say it's a very it's a very sensitive topic because a lot of the women that are not body accepting also, as you mentioned, Gab, have eating disorders or had eating disorders in the past. And so I'm hoping we can get out of this. We're trying. This is an attempt to navigate our way out of the especially for women, this detrimental dieting culture that we've immersed ourselves in over the past 30 to 40 years. And I feel like we can attribute CrossFit to improving that, because now women can focus more on what they do and what their bodies can do than what it actually focusing on the nitpicky, what it looks like all the time. And then I'm hoping we turn the leaf on the nutrition side. But this fat acceptance thing is not, if this is that attempt to add that, I mean, I got Beth on the naughty list for that for sure.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah.
I will say, just as someone with personal experience, the amount of effort and energy that it takes to be unhappy with your body every day, to get dressed in the morning and not like the way you look in your clothes, to stress at night about what you ate that day, all of those feelings take so much more effort and energy than just improving your habits. Like simple habit improvement. It feels like it's going to be some insurmountable task, but it's way easier to be mindful of what you're eating, get some exercise in, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, like improve those things, than it is to hate yourself. And it took me many, many, many years to figure that out. But it is significantly easier to improve those small habits and make incremental changes than it is to hate yourself, no matter how many body neutrality courses you pay for.
Yeah. I mean, do something about it. Right. Like, if that's where you're at, you have to do something about it. So,
yeah. And one thing you can do is book a call with us. Like, talk to somebody from CBG. We know how to help you with this. We are so familiar with all of these things and can help you build those habits, not to mention work on, your nutrition and build you a blueprint that is going to help you get through every day and the holidays and summer and your birthday and all of that stuff. So if you are tired of wasting your energy, hating yourself, talk to us. We'd love to help you.
There you go. So yeah, I think to wrap that one up, then if you are someone that follows Sporty Beth and think you like her messaging and you think that she should be on the nice list, then the challenge is to work with CBG and find out that you can probably find out both, right? You can find a way to where you're not beating yourself up about your body, and you will have food freedom, but not in a way that conflates the health things of your body composition, stuff like Sporty Beth I think does. So all right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, another lady focused one here for you, Gab.
Another handsome man.
Calm down over there.
Women who want to start working out, but they're like, I don't want to do weights because I don't want to get bulky.
This is a terrible problem in America. Women have been turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger at an alarming rate. And this, Mike, is something we have to stop. I mean, my mom started lifting. She had a 25-inch muscular arm. The next day, she couldn't even brush her hair because the bicep got in the way.
Creatine supplement.
And she took creatine. Then she weighed 800 pounds, veins in her quads. We couldn't even understand what she was saying because she was like, please make sense. The FBI had to put her down, actually. Very sad story. With cannons, the real guns didn't work at that point. Women in general, and older women particularly, and older Caucasian women more particularly, is like the least muscle growth prone genetic and epigenetic person you could find. You will not blow up and become an insane looking bodybuilder. I'm 99.999% assured that won't happen.
What about women who want to start?
That's awesome. He's so right. Like, couldn't be more right. Like, women need to lift more weight. Men even too. Like, we all need to lift more and actually challenge ourselves with progressive overload. We need to, you need to give your body a reason to change, right? And so if it doesn't feel hard and like you're not going to change at all, right? And remember, you can lower your body fat percentage by building muscle, right? So everybody's like, I want to lower my body fat percentage. I want to go from 17 to 15 or 20 to 15. I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's build muscle. They're like, no, I said I want to lower my body. You are. If you're building muscle, you're lowering your body fat percentage, right? So yeah, Mike's on the nice list for me. I'll give him that. He definitely, he's one of the smartest in the game for sure.
Yeah. Justin, really quickly, what about when somebody starts taking creatine and they say, you know what, I have to stop taking this because it's making me fat? What say you?
So first off, creatine is naturally occurring in a lot of foods that we eat, especially animal products like fish, steak, stuff like that. So you're already getting in creatine. You're just not getting in enough of a dose to really do anything. Literally the answer, it's so funny because everybody's looking for the shortcut out there, right? Instead of the hard work. And we literally tell you guys it's creatine, and then you're coming up with reasons as to why you don't want to take it. It's hilarious to me. It's wild. It is the best performance supplement out there. It is the best supplement out there to change your body composition. It's by far the best. There's no doubt about it. Creatine does not cause fat gain at all. It's stored in your muscle. It's not stored in your belly or where people think that, or other places that they feel it's stored that makes them look fat. So in actuality, creatine makes you look more jacked because when it attaches to water in your muscles, you look like you have bigger muscles, right? And you look more lean. And so there's no evidence out there that creatine causes it. Creatine is 0 calories. It can't cause fat gain. We know that fat gain comes from excess calories. It doesn't cause any increase in appetite. The only increase in appetite that could be caused is because you're growing muscle, which is a great thing. So there's really no reason to be afraid of creatine, to not take creatine for literally anybody in the world, unless you have dysfunctional kidneys or your doctor has decided otherwise for you based on some of the health concerns you may have.
All right, there you go. One thing about Dr. Mike is I feel like he needs to narrate some sort of documentary or something. His voice is like,
he does have a good voice.
Just a voice that's like, I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Okay,
Dude.
Christian Bale as Batman.
Yeah, he probably could be a good Batman. Are you saying that that was a bad impression?
Yeah, that Dr. Mike impression was Christian Bale as Batman.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Last time I tried to do a New York accent. This time I tried to do Dr. Mike, and I just fail at all of it. So, all right. Well, that's our naughty or nice list for today. Let us know in the comments how we did. Did we pick on someone that you like? Did we leave somebody out? Put in the comments somebody that you think needs to be on the naughty or nice list and that we need to showcase. Let us know. And then also there is a link in the description. If you're new to this and you want help to be able to have that food freedom, but also be healthier and have a better body composition, book a call through that link. And I promise you won't regret it. I'm a former past client, worked with Gab, and I'll tell you what, she knows what she's talking about. So, and I'm sure that all the other coaches do too. So I don't think Justin would hire anybody that that wouldn't know what they're talking about. But I specifically know from Gab. So, all right, so that does it for today. We will catch you next time. I'm Joel Jacobs for Justin, for Gab. Peace out.